Hi there, welcome to video 2. We're going to cover graphing in this video, which is a really important part of inequalities because here's what's happening. When we have inequalities, we have infinite numbers of solutions. We have, you can't count them all. And so you have to be able to represent that with a picture. You can't just say like x equals 5 like you can when you solve for one answer. You're going to have a whole infinite group of possible values in most cases, possible solutions. So we can show that in a number line. And let's take a look at how to do this. It's really pretty simple. My first recommendation is that you always put the variable on the left-hand side. It makes graphing really simple. In fact, I'm going to add that note here. If possible, put variable on the left. Now that can get a little bit weird. There's some things that'll happen later that you'll notice when it's not there that you have to do with that sign. But if it's on the left, it's really pretty simple to see if you have the right answer. I'll show you why here. Let's look at what's really happening though. So we are going to graph. And the graph of this inequality is to be x is less than -1. So we have to somehow show all the values of numbers that are less than -1. Well, the first thing we should do is identify where is -1. -1 is on this spot right here, just first, oh, that's supposed to be an arrow pointing to that first little mark, the first one left of the 0. So if x is less than -1, is it possible that -5, x could be -5, would that be less than -1? Well, yeah, that might be x right there. You know what else might be x is -4. And what else might be x is -10. And all these numbers over here, any of these numbers, is it possible that x is -6.5, which would be right there? Sure it is. We just know it's less than -1. So it's all these numbers to the left of -1. Now -1 is right there. So, but is it possible? Is -1 a solution? All right, is -1 less than -1? Is that true or false? Well, that's false. Like we learned in the last video, it has to be an or equal to sign there. So here's what I have to do. I have to somehow start a mark at -1 but not include that. Here's how you do it. This is really important. On the -1, would you make an open circle and make it clear that that's an open circle on -1? Okay, the open circle is a boundary. Okay, you start at -1, but don't include. And I'm sorry, my note is getting messy here because I ran into my other part, but don't include -1. That means I'm going to start at -1, but -1 is not a solution, but every point to the left of -1 is a possible solution. So here's what you do. Make a nice, clear line that you're darkening to the left of -1 and make it an arrow, because this goes on and on and on. If x is less than -1, who knows, it might be -100. And that is the graph. And it's really important that you have that open circle and then all shading to the left. Let's look at number 7 and see how that one is different. Now you'll notice in number 7, it has the line underneath that means or equal to. So y is greater than or equal to 5. Okay, well let's go to 5. Let's find that. 5 is right here. So here's the question. Is 5 greater than or equal to 5? Is that true or false? 5 is greater than or equal to 5. It's true. 5 equals 5. Therefore, 5 is to be included in our solution. So what we do is we put a closed circle here on the 5. All right, that means it includes 5 in possible solutions. All right, so if we have a line underneath there, we have to put a solid dot to show that 5 is a possibility. Well, what else? What's another number that y could be? 6. Could y be 6? Yeah. 6 is greater than 5. 7? Yeah. How about 8? How about 8.5? Yeah. How about 10? How about 10 and a half? How about all these numbers over here? These are all numbers that represent x is greater than 5, or greater than or equal to 5. Okay, let's do number 8 and 9 real quick, and then we'll be done. Switch back to another color here. W is greater than 9. Okay, so we go to 9. Since that does not equal 9, we do an open circle. We'll go a little faster now. We go, there's 9 right there. We do an open circle on 9. All numbers greater than. So where would numbers greater than 9 be? They would be these numbers over here. Okay, though that is x is greater than 9. All right, the last one, z is less than or equal to 2. Now here, all right, z or 2 is equal to 2, so we're going to go to 2, and we're going to do a, there's my 0, so 1, 2. We're going to do a closed circle. Closed circle on 2, because 2 is a solution. Numbers less than 2, how about 1? 1 is less than 2, so is 0, so is -5, so is all the numbers on this side over here are a solution. And put that arrow on there. That is z is less than or equal to 2. All right, and that's basically it. That's how you graph. So let's recap real quick. All right, closed circle. Okay, when you do a closed circle like this, whichever way the arrow goes, I'll just go to the right. Okay, that means it's or equal. Whichever way the arrow goes, if it's a closed circle, that means that is a solution. If you have an open circle, like this, okay, that means it's not or equal. So it would be either greater than or less than. Sorry, my handwriting's getting really sloppy there. So it would be like that symbol or that symbol. Up here on the closed circle, I should have done that as well. If you have one of those symbols, you're going to have a closed circle on your graph. All right, that wraps it up. Pretty simple lesson, I hope, for you. Bring your notes to class, and we'll work with that when I see you next.